Taiwanese are spoiled, and that's not a bad thing. The problem isn't being spoiled. It's getting used to good things and assuming they'll always be there, because good things need care to live on. I'm a two-time immigrant. I've lived in Taiwan, the US, and Europe. Every society quietly spoils its people by protecting what it values most. I want to share how I've experienced being spoiled in different countries and what Taiwan spoils people with that isn't always obvious from the outside. I'm Serious Lee, Taiwan Matters. I moved to the US in my teens, so let me start there. When people talk about the United States, it's usually dramatic. Big money, big success, racial tension, gun violence, and a growing sense of America first. Not exactly inviting. All of that exists, but it's not what left the biggest impression on me as an immigrant. My family arrived in the 1980s with almost no money, no network, no skills that translated into a good job. Life was hard and we felt like outsiders. As immigrants, that feeling never fully goes away. But the US is so diverse that being an outsider is kind of normal. Eventually, we started a small business. Fairly, squarely. No bribes, no knowing the right people. The rules were clear, and they applied to us, even as outsiders. We worked very hard. The system gave us room to learn new skills, and the people around us supported the business we were building. To me, that's a kind of generosity towards newcomers that's less common around the world, and much harder to build than it looks. That's what the US spoils people with: opportunity, openness, and the permission to try. After more than 2 decades in the US, I moved to Europe, and Europe spoils you with something very different: time. Work-life balance isn't the slogan here. Vacation, sometimes 4 weeks at a time, isn't a reward. It's expected. This is usually the part where Americans and Taiwanese start rereading the out-of-office email. Europeans protect time for family, for friends, for living. And there's culture everywhere. History, museums, beautiful landscapes, and you actually have time to enjoy them. Life feels humane. But that choice comes with trade-offs. Europe moves slowly. Big decisions take time. Sometimes a lot of time. Progress happens through negotiation, often across 27 countries in the EU at once. But that's the deal. Europe chooses to spoil people with time, even if it means sacrificing momentum. I value my time more as I get older, so Europe feels like home. Speaking of trade-offs, I sometimes see debates online among foreigners who've moved to Taiwan about whether it's a good place to live. In one of these threads, someone replied with this: "As you get older, you realize there's no perfect place. There will always be trade-offs. The real question is which ones are non-negotiable." Once you start looking at places that way, Taiwan becomes a very different conversation for me. Whether Taiwanese people are really that friendly or how good the food actually is, those are details. Taken together, they point to something bigger. A subtle but very powerful thing Taiwan spoils people with: the feeling of being safe. I know it sounds strange to use the word safe when China threatens Taiwan constantly. That threat is real, and it requires vigilance. But that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about daily life, everyday moments. Safety isn't just about crime rates, though yes, they are relatively low in Taiwan. It's about trusting the systems around you. Healthcare is part of that. It's good, it's affordable, and you don't hesitate to use it. You don't lie awake wondering whether getting sick will ruin you financially. And when those systems are tested, you see how they hold up. Taiwan's COVID response was widely noted internationally, not because it was perfect, but because the system took responsibility seriously, and for the most part, so did society. Food is part of that trust too, not because it's fancy, but because it's delicious, affordable, and everywhere. Even a tiny street stall feels safe to eat at, and that can change how your day feels. Convenience stores are part of the infrastructure too. I usually just say 7-Eleven. They're everywhere, often open 24/7, sometimes 2 on the same block. You can shop, pay bills, pick up packages, or just sit down and breathe for a moment. That might sound like trivial convenience, but it isn't. It means help nearby, even late at night. Public transportation is part of that trust too. Subways are clean, buses are easy to use. People line up, they wait their turn. You're not constantly negotiating space or rules just to get through the day. When the parts of daily life that matter most, healthcare, food, convenience, transportation, work with a sense of order, friction between people goes down, and you can hear the difference in the tone of society. When people can relax, as much as modern life allows, they speak more gently. Taiwanese say a lot of thank yous and a lot of excuse me, 不好意思, in their signature soft, gentle tone. They even decorate everyday life with cartoon characters, including on public service posters. It's not about being cute. It's about not having to brace yourself. It's like a smile built into the environment, even when it's not on anyone's face. My kids noticed it immediately on their first visit, and it's what made them feel safe right away. Taiwan is far from perfect, but the way people take care of each other creates a feeling of safety you don't always recognize as special until you experience life somewhere else. And that feeling isn't just about kindness. It exists because Taiwan is a democracy where people get to choose the systems they live under, and those choices quietly shape daily life. For me, after spending most of my life outside Taiwan, this everyday sense of safety is how I appreciate Taiwan spoiling me. Please subscribe and check out our other videos.